The price of Bitcoin rallied up significantly last week, with it currently forming a bullpen formation. It looks likely to break out. The current price of Bitcoin is $20,731. We made about $47,000 trading Bitcoin last week between my trades on BitGet and my trades on BYBIT, and next week we aim to do exactly the same thing. So make sure you join the TMG Trades YouTube channel. Slap a like on today's video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel this year. It's growing at quite some pace right now, so again, slap a like. We're trying to hit 500 likes on every single video, and let's crack straight on with the day's analysis. Of course, Bitcoin is currently bull penanting outwards, but at the same time, we've got to be very wary right now of the price of Bitcoin, because although we're bull penanting outwards, this looks amazing, and technically this should again break to the upside, being that we have actually touched below the bottom of the VWAP here. It should in theory break back to the upside and at least retest $21,400 before dropping any further down. We have this gap, and this gap is currently sitting at $19,895. What is the likelihood that Bitcoin comes down and closes the CME gap this week? I think as time goes on, it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller is the likelihood that Bitcoin's price declines. I'm watching for a break below this level of support. If we lose this level of support, then odds change significantly. However, just bear in mind that if Bitcoin's price is to drop down, you're talking about quite a significant drop in the price. We're talking about almost a 10% drop in the price of Bitcoin down to the level where the CME gap is currently sitting. It just doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't seem that realistic. And given that we've got a CME gap on Bitcoin at $28,000 to $28,500, somewhere in that range, it seems more likely that given the recent bullish momentum on the price of Bitcoin, that Bitcoin's price would actually rise again on Monday rather than fall. So, of course, how am I trading this right now? Well, when we go over to the exchanges, I've currently got my short position still open on the price of Bitcoin. Again, it's only a baby short. It's currently 1,900 in profit. I really don't care about that, being that we made so much money last week, $2,000. Nah, it's nothing, absolutely nothing. Now, on a more serious note, how do I intend to trade this next week? Well, of course, I want to close this position. I want to close it as close to break even as possible, hence why I'm holding out for a potential dump on Sunday night. If we don't get that dump down Sunday night, I will be leaving that position, or rather closing that position completely, and then I'll be looking for more long positions, because to me, Bitcoin's price looks way more likely to break to the upside. So at what point would I be considering a long position on the price of Bitcoin? Well, if we go over to the charts right now, not on this one right here, but if we go over to the actual charts where I've got my analysis set up, essentially I'm looking for a break of this purple line. This purple line is sitting at pretty much bang on $21,400. I mean, it's not registering right there, but it's bang on $21,400. And a break of this resistance level essentially means that we really have no sell pressure. If I go up to a higher time frame, like the daily chart, and zoom out a little bit so you can see what the sell resistance is like up here, once you break through here, there really is nothing. Like, this is all kind of resistance and volume. In theory, we should go all the way up. If we break through that $21,400 level, in theory, we should go all the way up to the next key levels of resistance that actually are nowhere to be found on this chart, which is quite amusing. If I zoom out a little bit, it should bring them in, and then we'll be able to see a little bit more. There we go. So in theory, we should go all the way up to approximately this level right here, and that level would be that $28,000 gap, which is why I'm expecting that next week. I know it sounds unrealistic, but did it sound realistic that when Bitcoin was $31,000, it would immediately drop down to being $16,000 in the span of a couple of days? No, that didn't seem realistic at the time, but it still happened. You don't need things to seem realistic for them to play out. So that would be the hopeful scenario. The hopeful scenario would be, look, Bitcoin ignores the gap now down at $19,800, and instead it heads to the upside. People get carried away. Price of Bitcoin moves like crazy. My hair is looking a bit like Jimmy Neutron today. I do apologize. Now, I'm also going for a haircut tomorrow, so you won't have to put up with my horrible haircut for much longer. But yeah, in terms of what we're looking at, we are looking for a break of essentially $21,400, pretty much bang on, as you can see right there. As soon as we break through that level, we're heading to the upside. So for me, I'll be placing my long positions just above $21,400 in case we wick slightly above it and then drop below it. But I'll be longing basically from $21,400 upwards. In terms of shorting, I currently have a short position open, and again, yeah, it would be nice to get that close on my short position so I didn't have to close it for a loss, but ultimately it doesn't matter because I make so much money on the pump back to the upside. I don't really care. Oh, at the same time, you are going to have losing trades whenever trading cryptocurrency. That is inevitable. The key thing is knowing when to take your losses and making your losses smaller than your profits. Again, you want much larger profits than you do losses because you want to mitigate the losses and then maximize the profits. That's the way that my strategy works. You do incur losses every every now and again. Now, we had an amazing week last week. We made 40 grand, and then at the end of the week, lose 2. It is what it is. You can't win them all. Now, when it comes to the price of Ethereum, we're looking at a very similar thing on the price of Ethereum right now. We came to the downside, bounced to the upside in terms of the VWAP. It's looking decent. In terms of Ethereum, it needs to break basically above this key level of resistance. It doesn't need to break all the way up to $1,620. The inevitability of it is if we break through this level of resistance right here on Ethereum, we're currently looking at a break of approximately $1,564. If we break $1,564 or $1,565, we should head up into that $1,600 range. So I'll be longing Ethereum above $1,564 because again, if we look at the volume bands right now, in terms of what we've got in terms of the volume profile, if I drop out to the daily chart and look at what we've actually got here, if we look all the way up, you've basically got a major level of resistance right here on the volume bands, and then it just declines into nothing. And we could seriously go to them, like it wouldn't take much. It honestly wouldn't take much, and it wouldn't surprise me to see that anyway, being that this tax year, the price of Bitcoin has been so down that everyone can write out losses against it anyway. So to see people piling money into something again that they can class as an investment on the books, and so therefore don't have to pay the profit or tax on it, because they can write off their profits against their investments, I think a lot of that's going to happen heading into the tax season this year so that everybody can not pay as much tax as what they probably should do. Again, it's called tax mitigation or things like this. It's just being sensible, essentially, to minimize the amount of tax that you pay and maximize the amount of liquidity that you have. Now, at the same time as all these things, what is currently going on with the price of TAP? Well, if you look at the order book for TAP right now, in terms of the sell wall, we've got a very tiny sell wall here at 37. We've got, again, a tiny sell wall here at 38. 39's got 2 Bitcoins at it, and 40 is a fairly big sell wall at 10 million coins. In terms of the buy walls right now, again, decent liquidity on the order books. Seems like buying pressure is still certainly there. And again, when we're looking at the chart right now, we've not dumped down, which is fantastic news. We are consolidating at this higher level right now, and this higher level of consolidation seems to be playing out very well for holders. Now, at the same time, is it still worth buying TAP? I know that a lot of people ask me this all the time, and from my perspective, yes, absolutely. For the long term, I like the look of TAP. I'm not going to tell you to buy it because, of course, I can't do that. I'm not your financial advisor, but at the same time, I'm not selling my coins. I'm holding on to them, and currently, we are just bull pennanting outwards. And at some point in time, we should break to the upside of that bull pennant. So I'm still very, very bullish on the future of TAP. And next week, I've got another video coming out about why I think this coin's price could still go another, basically, how many X would it be from here? Like 50 to 100X from here would basically make it a 1000X from my entry, which would be insane. But I still believe that's going to happen throughout the course of this year. Again, remember, we're at the start of this year. Adoption is just kicking back in. Imagine 6 months into this process, how big something like that can get. Bearing in mind that they've grown by tens of thousands of users over the course of the past few weeks, this is something that will take a while to kick in. Their economy takes a while to grind out those people that want to sell those coins. But once those people are out, the price will head back to the upside. So I'm excited about TAP. I think the Bitcoin's price is looking great. Ethereum's price is looking great. I think this idea of coming down and closing the CME gaps probably isn't going to play out. Again, Ethereum CME gap currently sitting at $1,459. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense for us to drop all the way back down to this purple line just to close the CME gap. I just don't feel like it's going to play out this week. Again, guys, if you have enjoyed today's video, please do slap a like on it. I would really, really appreciate that. We're trying to get 500 likes on this video, and at the same time as that, trying to get to 100,000 subscribers on the TMG Trades YouTube channel. If you're not a member of my free groups, please do join them in today's video description. Don't forget, if you are interested in trading, check out the tutorial on the screen right now. That'll give you an explainer on how you can trade, essentially. And check out the links in today's video description to the exchanges, of which have got massive bonuses on offer right now. So on that note, guys, please do those things and have a great day. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.